The steppes of Central Asia were once inhabited by nomadic tribes. These tribes dominated the region until the formation of the Mongols.
Hey, how's your tribe going?
Oh, we're doing fine. We, go around from place to place on account for us being nomads and all.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a swell idea.
And what is that?
Why don't we band together so we can become more powerful? And maybe then we'll get a powerful leader, and then yada, yada, yada. We can do the world a little domination.
Sounds good to me. I don't know about you, but I have worked up to Mongol-sized appetite here. How about we have a nice plate of meat with a sip of milk?
Sounds like my cup of milk. Since we are nomads, let's use what we have.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the staple of the Mongol diet was meat and milk, provided by their herds, and it was supplemented by grains from when they were sedentary. The Mongols rose to power under the rule of Genghis Khan, who would be the first to unite the tribes of Central Asia. But who was this leader?
My son, I've been poisoned by agents of a rival nomadic group.
Oh, woe is my father. What shall I do?
You must take my place, son.
But I'm only 13. Well, at least I have my father's trusted servants to help me rule the coalition of tribes my father created.
He was the head of a Mongol tribe that consisted of roughly 30,000 families. Initially, when he became the head of the tribe, he was abandoned by his father's supporters and then captured by a rival tribe. He later escaped.
Apparently I was wrong about my whole father's trusted advisors. Now here I am in year 1182, captured by rival tribe and community.
Temujin's early experiences as a teenager truly tested his determination in life, as was evident while he was held captive.
Ha, you think you're so special? How do you like me now? Not so much. However, he may not taunt me for much longer. The midnight hour is upon us. Now's my chance for freedom. My time for daring escape is now.
Hey, where did the prisoner go?
Oh my gosh, he must have made a daring midnight escape.
Oh yeah, I've heard about it.
Guess that is the last time we'll see him.
Temujin's escape reunited him with his mother and merged his tribe with a stronger tribe. Following this merger, Temujin began to avenge the wrongdoings of those who abandoned him.
A leader whom my father once hated and now has accepted the people of my tribe.
Yes, honey.
Can I go and avenge the insults of the clan that had enslaved me?
More power to you, for it's not good to let such anger fester in your soul.
Thanks! Come, men, let us seek out those who have enslaved me.
Okay, hurrah! No festering anger. Unleash the fury.
Go.
As Temujin's power grew, so did his reputation. At the Kuratai, or assembly of the tribes of the region, something monumental occurred.
Attention, this session of the Kuratai will now come to order. Vice Official 2, what is the first order of business today?
Order of business number 1, Temujin wishes to address the assembly.
Did he just say Temujin?
He sure did. That's the Mongol who has been gaining more serious power recently.
We need someone like him to lead us.
True that. He's all the heezy for a Mongolese. I mean, he would be great and powerful leader.
Quite, you imbecile. Temujin is about to speak his piece.
Temujin, tell what it is you would wish to say.
Those who share my fortune and whose loyalty is as clear as glass may call themselves Mongols, and their power shall be above everything that lives.
What is that supposed to mean?
I believe that he is trying to communicate that if we were faithful to him and his cause, we would benefit immensely.
Well, sounds like a good deal to me.
Temujin was then proclaimed Genghis Khan. Between strong ruler, and the clans adopted the name Mongols. In the year 1209, Genghis began to build the Mongol Empire. Mongols came to control the Silk Road, which brought great power. Travelers along this route were heavily taxed.
Halt! Who goes there?
It is I, the Grafkin of the great caravan from the west.
What be thy business?
I bring furs and keys to trade with those of the west.
I will assume that you know who I am.
Yes, you are a Mongol. I've heard that you are fierce in battle, but will heavily taxed.
You are correct. Show me the money.
Here, take what is necessary.
Thanks. Have a good day.
The rules of the Mongol Empire were very strict and were followed by all in the empire. When rules were broken, there were harsh punishments. The capital of this empire should be located in Karakorum. Does anyone have a problem with this? From here on out, thou must recognize that there is one ruler, and that is Genghis Khan.
Well, I did not vote for him.
What did you say?
Just because some people voted for him doesn't mean he should be ruler.
Well, when he is dead and gone, another ruler will be elected by the Kuratai.
Well, I think that's a man of Mongol.
Kill him. With pleasure.
I
To the dungeon. Now, back to the matters at hand. Let it be proclaimed that the individual can only make peace with approval by Khan authority. Additionally, all Mongols must follow the code of Yasa. The code of laws known as Yasa was to be strictly followed. The punishment for breaking the laws of the Yasa was death. It was said that a cart of gold could be left in the open street and no one would dare to touch it. Yasa kept clans were loyal to the Khagan.
By the time you maggots leave this place, you'll be highly disciplined soldiers and highly skilled archers.
How will the ranks be structured?
You will address me as Sir.
Sir, how will the ranks be structured?
Well, maggots, the structure of the army is as follows. You'll be broken up into 10 army of 10 men called a jagan. And then 10 jagan will make up a unit referred to as a minion unit. Then 10 of the minion will be under one leader.
Sir, what will these mega units be called?
It will be referred to as a horde or a two-man.
Sir, by my mathematical calculations, that's 10,000 soldiers.
Yes, maggot number 2, and that two-man will be commanded by a no-yon.
Will we ever fight in groups larger than one two-man?
Yes, we will. If that be the case, the massive mass of Mongol military might will be commanded by an Orkin.
Obviously, the units were highly disciplined. All the soldiers were mounted on horseback while on a conquest. They also spent years planning campaigns due to the resources and horses needed.
Alright, troops, let's run through the checklist.
Sir, yes, sir!
3 horses each.
Check.
Excellent. Now I'm going to speak with a representative from the light cavalry.
Yes, sir!
Do you have the necessary equipment?
Yes, sir! We are equipped with our short bows, which are the most deadly weapon due to their incredible accuracy.
Is it true that you can even hit a target 400 yards away?
Yes. Watch this! Approximately 387 yards away. Yeah!
Now a representative from the heavy cavalry.
Sir, we are prepared for any close hand-to-hand combat with our lancers and metal armor covering our body parts.
Sounds like you guys are ready to kick some foreign fanny.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are.
Now, a representative from the messengers.
Sir, our men are prepared to be tightly bandaged so they can remain in saddles for long periods of time.
And now a word from our Orkin.
Men, be prepared. Our conquest will be long and difficult. Food will be scarce at times. Just as on our other conquests, there may be times when you will be forced to drink horse blood. However, fear not, for it will keep you strong and healthy. Have you heard what the coming weeks will bring?
Yes, I hear the Mongols will be coming.
I've seen them before.
You have?
Yes, I was amazed by their endurance, mobility, and cruelty.
I've heard they're known for that.
Have you heard of their leader, Genghis Khan?
Some, but what have you heard, woman?
I've heard that they trained for men to thirst on death and devastation.
What the woman had heard was true, for he asked the captain one day what his greatest pleasure was, and his response was hunting with his people in the steppes on a beautiful day with his horse at the gallop. Genghis's response was, "Nay, the greatest pleasure for a warrior is to trample his foe underfoot, seize his horses and riches, and to hear the wailing of inconsolable women." Genghis Khan felt that the Mongols were to be feared. Genghis attempted to ingrain this thirst for blood into his men, creating fears in their opponents and a key weapon.
Well, if that is how they are, I don't know if I'm going to fight.
Oh, you better believe I won't be fighting. Their reputation alone is enough to defeat me.
I guess that helps Genghis Khan get one step closer to his goal of world domination.
The first campaigns were on the Tangut Kingdom of Zai and then the Qin Empire. These attacks forced the Mongols to adapt how they fought because they were now facing fortified cities. They were able to conquer these cities via the help of defecting Chinese officials and artisans who sided with Genghis.
Men, we are now being faced with something we have not seen before.
Sir, are you referring to being attacked by heathens wielding herrings?
No.
No, you idiot. He's talking about the fortified cities of the Tangut Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was my second guess.
Right.
We will use their own people against them. Gentlemen, may I introduce you to Fu Manchu, who is luckily for us an architect from this region.
Well, I feel like the best way to attack the city is by...
Men, like Fu Manchu, were an integral part of the success of the Mongols. When they did conquer these cities, scholars and other valuable people were usually spread while villagers were slaughtered and cities were razed. Towns that surrendered usually were spared, assuming they would pay a tribute to the Mongols. In the year 1219, the Mongols began to turn farther to the west and invaded the Turkish Empire and sacked major cities.
We are now in the west. Let's continue expanding our empire.
Good call. Now let us continue to fight.
Almighty and powerful Khan, I have been writing for weeks non-stop with an urgent message for you.
What is your message?
There's a rebellion raging in China that must be put down.
I must return.
Yes, methinks that doesn't like a good idea.
Genghis Khan returned to China to put down the rebellion. Unfortunately, Genghis Khan received a wound and became infected. On August 1227, he died due to the infection. He was then taken home and buried. Prior to this time, this was not done. This was a new practice, as before his time prominent figures were left, where they died to be consumed by animals. The empire was divided amongst his 4 children and his wife. Ogadai was elected by the Kuratai as the next Khan. Batu commanded the Golden Horde, which drove westward in 1235.
Come, fellow Mongols, we will now drive westward to Russia, beyond. We shall expand even farther than Genghis Khan would have wanted. Yes, now onward! We have reached the city of Kiev. What now, fearless leader? Just as we did in Moscow, we will sack the city and continue westward.
And the Golden Horde did just that. They sacked Kiev just as they had Moscow and continued on to Hungary. They defeated the king of Hungary. However, something changed along the way.
Sir, a report from the heavy cavalry.
Yes.
Large numbers of deaths are accumulating. With the cold winter coming, it is suggested that we will fall back to return when conditions are in our favor.
Just that happened. The Golden Horde pulled back into southern Russia. When Baku returned home, he was named Khan. Eventually, the Golden Horde broke up into separate khanates across southern Russia. Jagati held the Khanate of Turkestan. Hukalu, the grandson of Genghis Khan, was chosen as Khan and changed his name to Il Khan.
Ha! I now control the Khanate of Persia.
Sir, might I ask what we are doing now?
Well, there's no use of us sitting on our rear ends. Our rears are made for sitting on horses, and so that we may increase our power.
Well, might I suggest that we move westward to what someday will be called Iran and Iraq.
Sounds good. So let us venture out into the Abbasid Caliphate and do what we do best.
And they did. This horde stormed through the Abbasid Caliphate and sentenced the caliph to death and killed roughly 800,000 other men and women as a result of their resistance to being conquered. In 1243, the Mongols also conquered the Seljuk Turks. The impact of the Mongol invasions upon the Muslim world had a profound impact. There was no central figure in Islam to lead them, and the power of Nestorian Christians grew. People of this region were relieved when finally the Mamluks defeated the Mongols. The brutality of the Mongols lasted long after the empire crumbled. It is thought that the Mongols westward transmitted one of the most destructive forces of all time. Fleas carrying the bubonic plague most likely were transported by the Mongols to the Middle East and then to Europe, while the physical presence of the vicious Mongol faded, death and destruction still remained.